Hello, I'm ETarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. Today is August 6th, 2015. A local Christian church will soon begin a series of Sunday sermons entitled Experiencing God. So I'm going to anticipate their series by discussing that matter from my point of view as an atheist. As I see it, the reason why any series on experiencing God might be called for is that no God shows himself to us. The God of that church is the God of the Bible, and the God of the Bible remains always hidden from us. The local professional baseball team is the Houston Astros. If somebody wants me to experience the Houston Astros, he or she does not have to give me a series of talks on how to do it. All they have to do is tell me something I already know, go to the baseball stadium and watch an Astros game. But in order to, quote, experience God, unquote, you have to have faith. And faith is accepting something as true without evidence. Well, I don't go by faith. I go by reason and evidence. That's the main reason I don't experience any God. I have recently met with that church's preacher and chatted with him over lunch. He told me that human love is strong evidence for the existence of his God, and that when we experience human love, we are experiencing God. Well, I have experienced human love. I was once married, and I truly loved my wife. I did not thereby experience any supernatural being. Very recently, I have truly loved my dear friend Ruslan. I have not thereby experienced any supernatural being. My one-time friend John, not his real name, shares with me a love of music. John is a musical leader in another Christian church in this area. John tells me, music is a gift from God. Listening to a beautiful musical composition is a way to experience God. John doesn't understand why I don't realize that. Well, when I listen to a beautiful piece of music, I experience the music. I marvel at the genius of the composer. I do not experience any supernatural being. A couple of miles from that church is the local Catholic church. The head priest at that Catholic church, Father Chester, was a seminary classmate of mine in the 1960s. He would say to all the other preachers and churchgoers, your ability to experience God is severely limited. We Catholics have it abundantly in our worship service, the Mass. In that ceremony, I, Father Chester, or whatever priest is doing it, changes hardened bread wafers into the body of Jesus, who is God. Then in Holy Communion, we give Jesus to our people to eat, and thus we and they experience God in a most intimate way. Here I am, Father Tarte, in 1968, at my first solemn Mass as a newly ordained priest, placing, quote, Jesus's body, unquote, on the tongue of a Catholic lady. no doubt she was convinced that she was experiencing God intimately. Now, half a century later, I say that is utter nonsense. It's just a tasteless wafer of hardened bread. Actually, the Church of Christ preacher will probably agree with me that that is utter nonsense. His ways of experiencing God are quite different from Catholic ways. My former dialoguer, Catholic priest Father TJ, used to be stationed at that Catholic church. He told me that the Grand Canyon is evidence of God, and that by looking at the Grand Canyon, we can experience God. Well, I have been to the Grand Canyon, and of course I have seen pictures of it. I see a beautiful marvel of nature formed by natural causes over a very long period of time, but I do not thereby experience any supernatural being. I have much more to say on this topic, but I will save it for future videos. I make these videos because, as I see it and as I discuss in other videos, religion does great harm to our species and to our planet. To all of you, thank you for watching this video.